Being held this first day of May 2025 at 7:30 p.m. has been provided in accordance with Section 3D of Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, commonly known as the Sunshine Law. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Muir,
Here.
Nelson, here, Cotton,
Here.
Kenny,
Here.
Lindsay,
Here.
Rodnick,
Here.
Decker,
Here.
Mooney, here, Kenise, here. Thank you.
I have a motion to open for public comment on the agenda.
Make a motion to open a public comment on the agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda. Motion closed.
Motion to close.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt regular and executive session minutes of April 17th, 2025.
I make the motion to adopt regular and executive session minutes of April 17th, 2025.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We have an agenda of first responders. I don't see any in the audience or online. We will hold that. Visitor, we had Edward Abato, Superintendent of Schools, and Kirby Hendershot. Mr. Abato reached out late in the day that he had a personal emergency at his home and is unable to attend this evening. So we'll reschedule for another night. I do want to share, I was going to share last meeting, but since this is on the agenda, the Township Committee and the school board are autonomous bodies. But we serve the same, of course, taxpayer and resident and try to deliver the best services that we can. So we're not devoid as a township committee of seeing some of the criticisms of the school on the community page. So I met with the superintendent and the business administrator a few weeks ago, which is what led to them wanting to come to our meeting. We're opening up relationships a little bit more. I have been talking to the school board president for some time, and we have communication open there. But within internally in the school and finding ways to support each other, hopefully we'll have a new level of relationship. There are some exciting things, in my opinion. That's why I wanted them here to share with the curriculum coming up. I know we just most recently this week saw the reports from the lead pipe. They are addressing that quickly. Mr. Decker's been involved with me before with the school. It's been an ongoing issue. Unfortunately, this is not, they fixed that previous issue, and this is another section of the school. They know how to address it. It's unfortunate that it doesn't, always get proactively addressed, but they know what's there. So I just want to give some reassurances that there's communication, there's support between the two bodies. And I think there's positive outcomes for the school and the relationship. And that's why I wanted them here to come and share that. When they are here, committee members will ask questions. And I do encourage everyone to attend the school board meetings because that's where you really do find out information about that. And this is really just kind of an update if you do find them up here. With that, some fun things and exciting things we get to do. Proclamation for Tasha Andres to stand and join me. I just move it back up, so I'm going back to you guys. Sorry, I get backdrop. So whereas Tesher Andres has proven dedication to his community, and whereas Tesher has performed extraordinary leadership duties within his scouting BSA Troop 288, and whereas Tesher developed a desire to aid his community, in particular producing a digital school tour for the Red Mill Museum Village. Whereas Tesher recognized the need to share the museum's school tour virtually as funding cuts, staffing shortages, and transportation issues precluded some school districts from visiting the museum in person. Whereas Tesher addressed the need by creating a video that could be shared virtually through the museum's website, following the path of the in-person school tours, and created a companion study guide to complete the experience. Whereas Tesher, through his dedication, hard work, and faith, has achieved the recognition of Eagle Scout. Now therefore be it resolved this first day of May in the year 2025 by Mayor Paul J. Muir of the Township Committee of Bethlehem Township, Hunter County, New Jersey, we provide recognition of the outstanding service and accomplishments of Tesher Andres. Thank you very much for your attention. Tesher, I had the honor to work with him, so I was the director of the Red Mill at the time, and but I haven't, I think I've missed maybe one Eagle Scout ceremony for Bethlehem Township residents in the 11 years that I've been mayor. So I'm just supportive of the program as a whole, but we also, I don't know, Mr. Decker, honor, recognize you because you do so much for the Scouts. And so we see a lot of Scout projects, both as a municipality as well as a museum. And I think your project, as we've shared, is extremely unique, and I hope sets a new bar and threshold for people to think of unique ways and unique to help and support their community behind some of the traditional projects. So thank you for setting that tone. Thank you and your family are wonderful residents of Bethlehem and support us in so many ways. So congratulations.
Thank you. It was an amazing project work. Especially with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations. Thank you.
We sit for a few minutes, there's no resolution, so I don't mean to go too fast.
I made a motion to accept it.
But can I have a motion to pay all bills in the amount of $2,067,735.37? We'll say, of that, $1,355,243 goes to our local school district, and $656,636.65 goes to our regional high school district. So our, the more than 80%, or about 80% of the bills, are going out of the school districts. And as we always share, the smaller portion of your tax bill is your local municipal tax. Do I have a motion to, pay those bills?
Make a motion to pay the bills in that amount.
Second. Roll call vote, please.
Cotton,
Yes.
Kenny,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Muir.
Yes. Report, Mr. Engineer, Mr. Decker.
Few updates, Heritage Park, as discussed at the last meeting, I contacted a environmental consultant to go out and take a look at the wheat farm. I understand he was out there this morning with DPW to check things out. So the reason for his visit was to evaluate so he can provide a proposal to the town as far as his recommendations and so forth. Also, I've reached out to a contractor with regards to the pickleball court to try to get another quotation for the pickleball court based on maybe a slightly more economical solution. Also, the Hickory Ridge plans are back into DOT for final approval. We should be able to get that started. We'll start that after the school year finishes. And the other day, maybe Tuesday, the state issued their notification that they will be accepting applications for the 2026 fiscal year grant program for local aid. And the intent is to apply for Hickory Ridge Section 2.
Can you just remind me which one is? What's one of the first two? Because I was being asked that question.
Sure. We're working from the back end. So all the cul-de-sacs, Michaels, and everything is phase 1.
Okay.
And phase 2 will be the main drag.
That, and nobody gets out. Nobody gets out. Okay,
We'll let you know.
I'm not going.
Yeah, we didn't want to do the main portion first and then have construction vehicles driving over.
Right. It makes me think that one.
Well, we tried. And that's all I had. Unless you have any questions.
No other questions. Well, we're gonna have you stay until the executive. Just with the house too, I did share with some of our fire companies, so if it is asbestos free or we have some areas they would like to drill in the house, we could work on that. I'll talk to our OEM coordinator, so let's see, and try to coordinate some activity over there. It's a unique opportunity and helps all of it.
Okay.
Report of zoning official. No, it's not a report. Sarah, thank you for joining us. It was nice. We wanted to have you just introduce yourself to our public meeting.
Sure.
You've already started here.
So my name is Sarah Canese. I'm the new zoning officer for Bethlehem Township. I started the second week of January, so 3 months, 3 months, 4 months, I'm not even sure. But, I've been in the field of zoning for almost a decade now. I cover a couple of towns, other towns in Hunterdon County, 2 small municipalities, or 2 small boroughs, Milford Borough, like Gardner Borough. I'm in Tewksbury Township, and then Bethlehem is my 4th town, so nice. You know, learn something from each town because they're all different. And I look forward to, you know, being the zoning officer here. I've gotten a chance to work already with Tom, which is great. We also work with Ben Week and my other towns. So yeah, I look forward to, you know, hopefully having a long tenure here.
Well, thank you all. Yeah, we also really appreciate that. You brought some efficiencies and clarity to the office role already, so we appreciate that.
Thank
I'd
you.
say it's a pleasure seeing the reports, and actually some more updates and follow-ups and everything else, not the previous report for that, more questions and answers.
Oh, thank you. And if there's anything,
So-
you know, any suggestions or things you want to see, you know, please just let me know. I'm more than happy to, you know, change reports if needed or give my info or, you know, anything like that.
Thank you very much. And our standing public safety officials report again, I don't see anyone in present or online, so we'll move on. Under old business, discussion, our DPW contract. Can I have a motion open?
Make a motion to open the discussion.
Okay. In favor? We're ready to share with the DPW union representative. Yes,
Yeah,
the-
it'll go tomorrow.
Okay, so only any updates, much other than everything we discussed has now been updated. Just thank you, Mr. Godnick, for clarifying language for us. And we will wait the return. We don't expect any surprises because it's usually agreeable. We just wanted to get it out there. Are there any questions about the contract? Motion closed discussion.
Make a motion to close.
All in favor?
Aye.
There's no new business, so we'll move into reports. Report of municipal zoning official was emailed already. Thank you very much again, as we shared. They're very clear and appreciated.
Thank you.
Department of Public Works, we emailed. I don't know, also if you'd like to.
They've been doing a lot of the, you know, they've started mowing and doing their chipping and, took the plows off and took all the spreaders off, and of course, we had cleanup day. And, planning board, I had to thank them, and they did a lot of hard work. It was a little slower than, last year. I don't know if it's weather related or, people on vacation, because a lot of the schools were out. But still, the addition of the electronics was well received. We were slower on trees. Suzanne, there are a few left. I think I gave away, so if you want to take whatever. They're right there in the conference room, so, okay. Yeah, we had a few trees left, which was unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, we started the process a little late this year for that, but I think now that I know what I'm doing, I think I can start and finish through that much later. Okay?
Thank you. Tax collectors, I would table right now. Animal control was emailed, and there are printed copies for you. Report of environmental commission. Mr. Grimsdale sent me a message to read. He had a work obligation that he could not make it tonight. So he sent a few bullet points. The first is the historic bridge in Irish Park, which we've discussed multiple times. But as an update, that's a certificate of eligibility. We have a national historic register. But we're looking to make this repair more accessible through county contractors. Because of the restrictions that were placed on historic repairs and the direct qualified contractors, costs are substantially increased when we look to use the New Jersey Historic Trust. So a request to be using some outdoor, our open space fund. In addition to, we'll be applying to the county for some grants to restore that. The environmental commission would like to see, this is maybe something we can share with the DPW, would like to see boulders and or bollards to prevent any motorized vehicles or heavy machinery from using the bridge. If those repaired, which is really key, because as long as we keep it from collapsing, the DEP permits are much, much less. So like hundreds of thousands of dollars less. So maybe we can do that. Township open space map, Suzanne Wilder put in significant effort and is the prime architect of the map of town open space, which the environmental commission will review at its next meeting on May 20th. This is an exciting development and enables the potential for future work on new trails, which will increase access to open space within the township. Thank you, Suzanne. Tree giveaway, Tricia Conley and Jose Reyes gave trees away at the recent townwide recycling event with Deputy Mayor Nelson, which included oaks, conifers, and persimmons. What's left over?
Most of the oaks and one pine is there.
Okay.
The persimmons were passed.
And then, application for variances and correspondence, the environmental commission reviewed 2 applications at the past 2 meetings and recommends that the town planning board exercise prudence and careful consideration of the environmental impacts. That is the environmental commission report. The open space committee, report is also emailed to you. I won't read it, but it's always, valuable, so I'll point it out, just make sure we read it. And then, our clean communities, we don't have a report currently, we'll probably have a pretty significant report as we tabulate what, they look like, even though it's not directly funded by clean communities anymore, only portions. And the report of Township Committee.
Not sure report, we have no active litigation matters. Next month will be tax appeal hearings at the county level. We don't have any current pending, tax court cases, so next step is, ADS is gonna present their land use application for the planning. We expect that this summer.
And we did see an increase though in activity going to the tax court.
Well, we have appeals and we always work to try to resolve those before we get to the county tax court. So we're working closely, to get all those resolved if they can. We're taking a look at, we see some pretty significant increases in certain portions, certain developments. Kalen Farm Road, line. So we are looking at, the comparable sales as well as, the documents that we see from the revaluation company to see if we can come to a resolution before the county tax board. You go to the county tax board and within 30 days, they will issue a ruling, either upholding, our assessment or adjusting the assessment. That's the next step.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that process. A report of personnel technical support coordinator, Ms. Nelson.
No updates.
Report of roads coordinator, Ms. Nelson.
Just wanted to thank the DPW again for, cleanup day, and also I guess we got our email, we got the report for the tier 4, tier 4, the B to A report. Looks like we're in very good shape. From what I read, and I know it also involved the DPW in a lot of those projects, so I wanted to thank them for that as well.
I think we're maybe one of the loudest objectors, but also in the lead in compliance.
Bethlehem Township is one of the shining stars in Florida. So as far as
Very clear that I disagree with portions of it, but we still comply. And do it in an effective and cost effective plan. The Board of Joint Professional Service Coordinator, I have updates this evening, and Highlands Council Coordinator, Ms. Nelson.
Nothing to me.
Report of governing body members, Mr. Capel. Nothing to me. Okay. Mr. Kenny.
I just want to thank Tom for, we already talked about the, I heard a couple of the residents had seen what was reported, came and asked me what was going on. The only thing I couldn't remember was which zone we were, but they were very happy. You guys included us for that, so
Thank you. Mr. Lindsay.
Only thing is we had our safety committee meeting earlier today. Mr. Gemmell from the insurance company joined us. He was very happy to say that we had no claims or anything else, no injuries, everything was very good with that. We went to Heritage Park and did a little walk around, checking some of the equipment. Everything there was past the flying colors, a couple of minor, very, very minor things to address, a couple of nails that were sticking out, or DPW to fix that. But again, he was very impressed with everything. He was gonna send Jen, he's gonna send you, as well as myself, maybe Judy, information for whatever mandatory training there was. I know some of the DPW members, they asked about like flagger training and that sort of stuff. So they said they do offer all that free for their insurance company, so he's gonna send that information for them. And other than that, It's about it. We do something with the gazebo, and it's already getting eaten up by car movies, so
Okay.
they're already drawing holes into it, so. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. Understand?
Yeah, just a reminder that the Heritage Market is gonna be starting up on June 4th, Wednesday, June 4th. And that's it.
Report Township Administrator. Report, Mayor, I'm gonna have to fill in all this time. No, yeah, that was. So I want to thank Judy, and our DPW, but Judy took on a great point role in coordinating, cleanup day. And I think it went, so it was your first time doing it, and everything went really smooth, and there's a lot of things you did, so you brought the country segment back in, coordinated with the scouts, for a clothing drive. And then, of course, the actual cleanup and the trees were not as streamlined as they were in the past years, and you still delivered, so thank you very much. And, thank you to our DPW, I heard great things, I ended up with a work emergency and driving to Fort Lee that day, which is completely unplanned on my part. So I didn't get to see anybody, but I heard that the DPW, everybody said how wonderfully pleasant, the experience is on cleanup day and talking to our DPW, so thank you to all those guys. I'm gonna bring up, I guess, the Bloomsbury, just so everybody knows, Bethlehem Township and Bloomsbury are doing what we can as we look at, potential, I wanna call it a warehouse, but potential light industrial, development in, Greenwich Township on the edge of Bloomsbury and Bethlehem. So, as I shared, next Friday, I have a meeting with Senator Steinhardt, with Mayor Papix. I've spoken to Assemblyman Peterson about it. Someone in the mayor's office has been in contact with me, and the state DOT. I want to credit. We have new relationships with DOT, and they've been phenomenal so far. I'm very impressed. So they're looking to coordinate. I shared my concern about truck traffic and at that intersection. The compound was there with truck stops, and so they're going to be coordinating a meeting between the county commissioners in Hunter and Warren to try to put them together. Because we don't facilitate, there's no contention, but it just doesn't seem like Hunter and Warren always talk to each other, so DOT can help build that bridge there. That would be helpful. I'll add, DOT is also addressing the no left turn sign over Union Township, by Charlestown Road. No right turn, sorry, yes, no right turn. And then I had a resident who had a water runoff issue on 173, and they promptly reached out to the resident and are trying to find solutions, so. I just wanted to recognize that, the new representatives have been great. And then, I remember my handwriting. One thing in section more kind of a positive note we had shared, we are, placing, motorcycle parking spaces in recognition of freedom of Keith and the, gazebo that we need to protect, because we're going to be dedicating that in remembrance of Carl Roth. The signs have been ordered. So we'll be coordinating with family members to engage to share dedication of those spaces, the parking spaces, and the gazebo. Signs are in, they're in Jeff's office.
No, no, I mentioned to you too about the gazebo, since there's a technical winter, then put a garbage can.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine, that's good.
and recycling.
Yeah.
And then that's my other thing, I'll go back on, we'll flip between community and then unpleasant things. I just shared, again, the electric, just as an update, I tried to explain and stuff, just in a short blurb on social media. But we are part of the Hunter area energy cooperative, so there's 17 towns, and we are price protected in the contract. The price protection guarantees the lowest possible rate on your generation rate. So JC going up 20%, and essentially we were forced to raise our rate, because there's, I guess, a threshold based on regulation, not our choice or even the area energy cooperative consultants, to keep the rate where it is until November. So it is going up with the area energy cooperative, but it is still significantly lower than JCP&L's rate, and that'll stay locked in still until November. Just not as big of a differential as we would have liked to see, but again, we couldn't control it, and I don't think anybody's seen a 20% increase in electric rates ever. And nobody knew that federal and state regulators could come in and then readjust our pricing as well. So just wanted to share that the intent is still there to save money on electric, but one wanted to explain why the rate was going up, because none of us anticipated that. With that, I have a motion open for public comment.
Make a motion to open a public comment?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Well, for 24 Charleston, I have a bunch of things, so no one else mind until somebody else wants it. So the zoning report that was emailed, can you read it? Or-
We'll be producing a separate one, because we have to redact names and addresses, so once we get to being able to produce it efficiently, we'll move into that.
Yeah, because I think you said that last time, if I'm remembering. So next time we'll have a report with we.
Likely next meeting.
Okay, thank you. And the MS4 compliance, Mr. Decker, so that was task 9H in the scope of work approval, MS4 permitting compliance, is that correct?
I'm not sure. I could take a look.
Maybe I'm mixing my apples and oranges here.
Oh, for,
It's for reimbursement.
right, so that is, that is the 89,500, I believe, is the Highlands grant, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. This is from the islands.
Yeah.
But I was just curious if that was all complete now that you
No.
said we're
No.
still not
No.
complete, even though we're in the lead.
No, so the inspection that we had from, DEP was for, we have to do those annual reports to DEP. And that was to come in and audit last year's report. And as a matter of fact, I forgot to mention, on Tuesday, we filed the 2024 report that was due. So what the report that we got from DEP was based on their inspection of that report. The Highlands grant that you have there
Yeah,
is for, we're still working on the MS4 process. By the end of this year, we're supposed to have all the inlets and piping mapped, drainage areas.
that's what you started 2 years ago.
There was a whole process. It started 2 years ago, you're right. And there were the ordinances that needed to be passed and a few other things. And they basically have deadlines for the end of 2024, end of 2025. So this year is collecting the data on all the inlets, the piping, and we did start that last year. We did get a jump on it. Mapping that drainage areas, and then we have to put together a report that's required. So there's still a significant amount of work that is being done with that.
Okay. So then the 89,500 only gets reimbursed after it's all completed from.
Correct.
Correctly.
Correct. We'll submit, Jen, I don't know if we've submitted, anything yet, but, we're at a point where we can submit for our first payment.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll submit, we'll give the, township administrator the information needed so that she can turn it to, the Highlands and get a partial
For that task, which
reimbursement
is
for money spent so far.
that task 9H stormwater MS4.
Right, and this is a process that won't be wrapped up until December 31st of 2027. So there's the watershed improvement plan is in 3 phases. What we're doing now is the first phase, which is basically data collection, putting everything together. And then we get into phase 2 and 3, then that involves evaluations and recommendations and a plan going forward for the town.
Okay, so there's some other tasks that, did we finish the wastewater management plan? Didn't we do that? Couple.
Wastewater management plan,
That's task 11.
I don't think we've done anything with that recently.
I think we,
Oh, I thought-
no update.
Oh, because you got $2,000 from the Highlands for that.
I think there was pieces from the ordinances that we.
Yeah, that was done in conjunction with the county, and I believe that was submitted to the county. Our wastewater management plan is very simple, because we only have a few areas that are, have the gypsies permits, the school, I believe that graphite mill, they have one. But otherwise, because we're septic, our wastewater management plan is fairly straightforward.
Okay, so, and then the other one, so we already did like the zoning map update, on the land use ordinance, the master plan, the zone element, you can, results all reimbursed? Because those are all complete, right?
They're complete, I don't know, we were submitted for reimbursement, yeah.
We're working on the land use and the master plan, on getting all the invoices to be able to submit to.
So it's kind of all in progress, so, okay. In progress, okay, thank you. And then my next question is, so for the raises of the taxes with the reassessment and everything, that's the July, when does that take effect?
You know, once the new tax bill is issued, it'll start for, I guess, all the August 1 payment.
August, okay. I couldn't remember what you had said, but,
You should have the tax bill theoretically in July, as long as the county certifies,
yeah,
and then August 1st will be the new payment.
okay.
And I will just share too, the school, I've gone back to school, my conversations with them is they, sounds like they've been respectful, as well. They have a lot of needs, but it sounds like, it may not be as drastic, I can't speak for them, and I think when they get to the final bell, they may have a different number, but so far it seems like they're, not significantly higher than previous years, they are higher, but not
Yeah,
significantly.
and I think the high school is higher too, they got just passed their budget with a 7-hour meeting that ended at 1
I don't know
AM,
if it passed,
correct?
I'm not sure if it passed or not.
I
don't think it
thought
passed.
it did, go to budget, but I didn't go.
I was impressed. I haven't gotten the details yet today, but I'm aware of the meeting and what went on. I wasn't sure if it passed or not.
I believe it did, could be wrong. And then, any update with the COVID trail when Mr. Flipstein was here?
So unfortunately, the New Jersey Water Authority, so when Mr. Clifton was here, he had retired on March 31st, and he was here in the beginning of April. And he was no longer an employee of the Water Authority when he was representing the Water Authority. And
He wasn't representing him as a volunteer even?
no, they won't accept that, and he's related to Mr. Coven, so, all in all, the state, internal ethics review, I guess, the ethics board within the Water Authority, will not allow them to participate, based on his interaction. I've gone back to the Water Authority and asked if we became the primary agency, if that would be acceptable. I still like to have a partner on cost share. If we became the project manager, if that would be acceptable, I haven't heard back from that. That was just this week I responded.
Okay, so John Jimenez had started working with, we had gone out and scoped out where, so,
Okay, John knows, John called me before I received the email from Water Authority to give me the heads up that there was an issue, and then, like I said, it's, I don't wanna make it sound like it's negative, it's just the way the state reviews, and then it came down to an ethics issue when they withdrew their support, and their project management on it,
that's
so.
too bad.
I did ask, like I said, I've asked Bill Shelley, and then I'll wait for a response and try to work with them to see if we can be the project manager on it.
Okay. And then my last thing, did any of you go to the, EPA workshop last night for the PFASs in Franklin Township, which I know they're expanding their study areas and going all the way into Asbury?
I did not attend, I don't think any of us, attended. We are,
What's your name?
monitoring.
Posted something just.
Teresa.
Teresa, yeah, she just posted it on there. She went to look at that. Apparently, they're not looking at that yet at all, so.
I thought it goes up to, well, it goes up to Asbury,
They're not looking across the river from, Waste Street to Sound.
yeah.
Asbury is one of the towns that's gonna be involved, and everything in the Warren County side, on the Huntington County side, it's not. They haven't paid any.
Yeah, I'm trying to find, like, I didn't attend, I have talked to a few people at DEP, because I've had residents reach out to me on that side of town. I mean, whether the river is a barrier or not, I don't know.
I don't think it's about it, and I do believe that, and I could be getting this wrong, Musconnect on Watershed is looking for people to volunteer to have their water tested, that's what Teresa had posted, or let us know. And I do believe that I'm getting my numbers wrong, but there were some houses in the town that had high PFAS. So,
I think,
maybe
again,
you could reach out to the water supply and see if they can coordinate with who wants to post it on the Facebook page or something, if you know, want your water tested for, I think it's for free. And
yeah, there's certain areas, you know, full free testing, other areas, you know, have to pay, based on concern, what I saw from the EPA. And there are multiple surrounding communities that are under threat that you can go and there's, either subsidizing or paying for water testing. We're monitoring the situation, like I said, residents on the Lower Iron Bridge and River Road reach out. You know, it's not just there, we need to even know, they haven't identified 100 yet, I mean, we saw Lambertville had a recent, another, I'd say pop-up, I just think we're being aware now, but, they have significant PFAS, leaching from what used to be their Lambertville city dump, if you will. There's a lot of housing that was built around it, that now have extremely high levels.
I think I forgot what they said when they started testing for it, but it was only a few years ago. It's not that it's just happening now, is that they just never tested for it.
That's what I think it's something we need to monitor, we're gonna see it everywhere. I mean, when you talk about PFAS, people realize it's one thing, my understanding it's like 50 different.
Oh, yeah.
products. And they were used in industrial manufacturing everywhere.
I know I did mine, I paid for, you know, when they had the water testing and I paid for it, and ours is good, but that doesn't mean right next to us might not be, you know, because it's just so variable, and with the fractured bedrock, who knows how it travels.
Yeah, very
And
good.
the limestone, and so if you could just keep the town updated, just as a matter of course,
Yeah.
if I didn't go and,
Well, we're concerned, aware, and monitoring.
okay, thank you, I think that's it.
Any other public comment? Questions in the room? Any public comment or questions online? Motion to close public comment?
Motion to close public comment.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
No issues for executive session, and so, public comment. Who said that? Did you say that on your report? I don't remember you saying it on your report.
I'm saying now, I always do. Talk about program, take a second.
One contractor, yeah, so we're not no action, you know, not even action.
Also two in their contracts.
Two contracts?
There.
Yeah, executive. So we're doing.
Judy didn't want you to have, yes.
We are, we're already in executive session.
Judy,
Huh?
I will share, so I don't want, our residents and those who attend the meeting, we're flip about the timing of the meeting. But I will say, Mr. Kenny and I have been up here, and then Mr. Spenza, we've all been together for a long enough time to remember midnight meetings. And I think, I just want to share, it's really the efficiency of our staff in between these meetings. And I think our communications and we use those subcommittees well, but it's really, I just want to recognize actually, it's here, but this is a pretty quick and efficient meeting. But thank you for the work that you all do to make sure that they're quick and efficient. It's not that we're skipping anything, you're doing it quickly. You're excellent getting the work done. We won't be taking any action, executive session, take two contract issues and, motion to enter executive session.
Make a motion to enter executive session, no action.
Favor? Aye. I would ask, can we take a group photo before?